Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. For today's video, I wanted to talk to you about detachment from the narcissist, toxic individuals, and just realigning yourself so you can be successful. So let's jump in. When you've been dealing with toxic individuals most of your life, and then you wake up to the situation of you are in the midst of another one, you're learning about narcissism. You're learning about this toxic individual. You found out they're a narcissist or a sociopath or a histrionic or a borderline or something. They could even be somewhat of an antisocial, or even, I'll tell you, even the avoidance, as much as they could have a good heart, but they can do a lot of pushing people away. And this is the thing, when you've been woke up to this, you don't need any more toxicity in your life or dysfunction. You're not going to save the world. You're not going to save individuals if they don't want to help themselves. You are not going to be their physician. I have been on a journey to make sure that I get all the toxicity out of my personal life. And that's what I've been explaining to y'all on the channel. To be a healthy individual, you got to get the toxicity out of your personal life completely. And that means friends, coworker, or if you can, anything you can control that's in your control. Because when you get in the public, when you get into the public arena, the professional arena, there's only so much you can do, but you try your best to keep those individuals at bay at least. But in your personal life, that's completely in your control. So you have to kick all of them out as you find them, but you have to be on a journey to find out the red flags and what is going on with your fuel and your reciprocity and get them out of your life, because anybody that's in your life, you're somewhat attached to. You're somewhat in a contract, a covenant, and a commitment. And when you do these things, you have to pay for some of their negative reaping, and you only want wise people in your corner. You only want wise people around you so you can sharpen each other's sword, meaning your mind, your heart, your spirit, so it can strengthen, keep you strong. You want people that are equally yoked, individuals that are going to be a good support system. God forbid you had another toxic person enter your life. You want the counsel around you that's not toxic so that you can get a clear understanding. If they're telling you something that this individual, this new individual is not good for you, that you will listen and heed the call, because you know you've vetted them as being in your corner. They're one of your cheerleaders, not somebody that's pissing on your fire, but they stoke it. But they also have the ability to strengthen you and to critically correct you when it's necessary. And you have to be able to take the joy that comes as a critic too, to help to sharpen you up. You need that for your betterment. But for individuals who just want to get praise from people around them, does that sharpen you up? No. You need individuals you can trust, their opinion matters to you, and it's balanced. You want your personal life and your professional life, or your life out in the world, to not mirror each other, but you want them to be different, because your personal life should be a place of rest, healing, and rest and relaxation, a place to be healthy. Because when you go out in the world, you're going to have to deal with unhealthy individuals and things that may come up. But if you have toxicity in your personal life and having to deal with it in the world, that doesn't bring balance to your life. At least you can get some rest from the toxicity of the world and be able to not get burned out. And these people in your personal life are going to be connected to you, meaning they're going to be individuals that will have influence on your life. So you want to be careful of who you let in. I'll tell you, a big thing that helps you as an individual is looking at the reciprocity. Are they giving you equal fuel back? The energy you put in, do you get it back out of the individual? Or are you always given? Because people that are generally toxic or dealing with negative energy or negative vibrational energy people who don't care about your well-being, but they're out for themselves, they're not going to be equal with reciprocity, almost never. It will be financial too, because your fuel is your money. Your money is your blood, sweat, and tears. So that's your energy, and that's your soul energy. What you do to make your living. You don't want to just blow it all on some toxic individual. That's not wise. If you're spending all this money, he's dumping money into somebody, assets into somebody. It's not good. If you can't count on a person, if every time you have advancement and somebody pisses on your fire and they're not backing you, you don't want people to be in your life to lead you astray. You also can't always want some sort of toxic praise all the time and just the good side of things. Because when you meet the narcissist, a lot of times empathic individuals have had so much detrimental things happen from people in your personal life and from the world that you usually almost are isolated already, especially if you're in your 30s or 40s, because you get so beat up. This is unawoke individuals that by the time narcissist comes to you, you're already isolated. You're already completely isolated. You did half the work for them. Then they could just come in and hijack you, and you'll have nobody around you to give you any kind of opinion on the thoughts that you're thinking in your mind that you're having a hard time processing due to the gaslighting and all that. Seeing clearly what to do is very important. So when you break from a narcissist, you want to clear the fog and clear the haze, get your rest, eat right, and work out, meditate, and start moving into a healthier lifestyle, something that you can enjoy to do. If you can find a passion and passionate about something that you can dive into, that could be good, especially if it's something that will help you earn a second income. Find some joy in the world and continue to cultivate the joys, the things that you like to do that are healthy. Everything can cause problems in your life. Low vibrational people, they usually don't work out. Not always, but I'm just saying some things that affect the average. They're not healthy people. They sit around a lot. They're lazy. They're known for being slothful. They're not trying to advance in life and to grow spiritually. They're usually very closed-minded, very opinionated, very critical, and they even eat bad food. So you got to be careful. I mean, because bad food will bring your vibration down, like fast food all the time and feeling all bloated and feeling like you're tired and you're eating all that grease. It's not good, y'all. So these things are things that aren't appropriate for somebody that wants a high vibrational energy. You have to find ways to get healthy in all ways, and even your food. People talk about getting witchcraft put on them. People that get pushed down to such a narcissist vibration from being around these individuals for so long, and then when they go out and pay and get some witch doctor or something to put some kind of witchcraft on you, it doesn't typically work for a high vibrational individual, but it will work if you keep feeding a narcissist and you let them pull you down to a ground level, vibrational level below 200. You're sitting on their vibrational level. Then sometimes they will get witchcraft placed upon you. And some of what comes with witchcraft is you'll get tired, you'll get fogged out, lazy, gain weight. You won't have your looks anymore. Then you'll start losing your individuality and your authenticity and feeling confident and having faith and hope in life and joy. Then you'll start getting disconnected on the things that bring you joy, your passions. Okay, this is how witchcraft works. And then you'll be eating bad, fast food. So these are things all related to witchcraft when you get it placed on you. So I know a lot of people think they're protected because they know the Lord, but you're not going to be protected when you agree in covenant to go into a partnership with some toxic individual and feed them every day and get down to such a low level that you look and act like them and then expect for God to help you or protect you still. God protects you, but he doesn't expect you to get to a low level like that and stay there, because that's not what he has authorized for you to do. You're doing that out of your own well-doing. He has grace, but he's not going to continually put grace upon your life because of your stupidity. And I'm speaking to myself first, so don't take this like I'm being smart. I'm being honest, but I'm just telling you how I feel because I've been there. I've dealt with it. I've dealt with witchcraft being placed upon my life. But you know what? When you get to a certain level, it can't touch you. In fact, a lot of times, even people that try to place witchcraft upon you, still, even witchcraft a lot of times has to abide by some kind of law that God has governed too. It's not just nothing related to it, just do whatever it wants. No. It doesn't fly like that. So a lot of times people will try to place stuff that's witchcraft upon your life, but even witchcraft, they won't even authorize it because you're too good of a person that it's not fair. So in some cases, and what happens is when it gets forced out there, it usually backfires and gets placed upon them exactly what they wanted placed on you. And so these are things that will work. And I want you to just have an understanding because I had to study this stuff because I was dealing with it, y'all, not because I wanted to, but I just went into some, I didn't even like to, but you have to sometimes get some sort of understanding for some things because you have to know how to combat it and find out what is going on. Although I do believe that witchcraft to some degree is working off of some Old Testament covenants that are not validating. When Christ came, the new law, it put the old law out. And that's why I think the way this sacrificing and stuff, that like they're twisting it, but it does have some effective power, but not if you know Lord. And not if you are doing what you're supposed to do. The new law, it takes precedence over all law. But if you ain't walking in the new law, then the old law, if twisted as it may be in wickedness, can still have effects on you. But anyway, to move on, seeing clearly what to do, that should be very important because somebody without vision, they perish for lack of vision, it says in the word. And so lack of vision comes because people don't care or too distracted on the lusts of the world and the things of the world to care. So they're just living their day to day in folly. And a lot of them, it's unbeknownst to them because they don't care. They're growing up under old constructs that their family has in place and they don't want to process a lot of their emotions that they've gone through. Some of it's been abuse, and then they will perpetuate the abuse on their children and sometimes increase that to make it worse. So we want to be holy. We want to be righteous. We want to walk in sanctification. I know it's difficult, and God knows I'm talking to myself first because I've been the biggest sinner. So, but I'm just saying you got to have vision and be working on your life because goodness is not just something that is just very easy in this world system. It's something that takes self-control, and self-control comes from the Almighty. But you can't see clearly when you're with toxicity. You don't know what the truth is and what the lie is when you're around it and it's surrounding you, flanked all around you. And it's because of your consent. Some of it you're born into generational and you have to walk away from that, but that's on you, y'all. If you are so in love with your family that you can't leave them for your higher self, for God, then if it's necessary, it's necessary. You got people like these narcissists in your life, they stab you in the back. And there's no reason for this. This was stuff that they backbite, they make up lies, and they will smear your name and go on character assassination campaigns. They steal your identity and siphon off all your fuel because they're not high vibrational and they can't cultivate the fruits of the spirit. So they can't get new forms of supply without it. So they have to find it and seduce people through wickedness. Through wickedness, they have to seduce people. They have to get them in covenant so that they have access. They have legal access to you. You were loyal and very loyal and devoted to them, and they still have just been out to destroy you. It's not fair, and it wasn't right. They have been trying to gaslight you and telling you that you weren't loyal, you weren't devoted, you weren't doing the righteous thing as the counterpart for them or in their life when you were in their life. I'm saying this because a lot of times they want to come back and they will try to gaslight you and give you a fake apology. Play this weight game or it'll get better or I'm working on myself. Well, I don't want somebody who's completely under construction because they haven't done anything in their life to fix anything. I don't think you should be waiting around for a fixer-upper because that a lot of time is the ploy of the enemy. And if they wanted to fix themselves, they have to do it because nobody else is going to fix you. It's nobody's job to fix you. It doesn't matter if you've been victimized. If you play the victim, then you have problems because that shows that you're not out for your good well-being or anybody else's. But they try to gaslight you. They take your energy and they don't reciprocate it. So equal reciprocity, that's what you always got to search for because evildoers always have negative reciprocity. And if you ever see what looks like equal reciprocity, it may be in love bomb phase of a new relationship. But outside of that, and that's just a manipulation, but you should see what love bombing looks like and know to revoke it. Because anybody that's love bombing you is not good for you. But there is a high type of vibration when you do meet somebody, so don't get it confused. You got to have balanced thinking. You have to have balanced thinking because sometimes what may look like data mining is just somebody trying to get to know you. So you have to use your intuition and see the red flags, but not look at everything as a red flag. You want your counterpart to be somebody who's spiritually connected to you. You don't want somebody that's just attached. Attachments are not good, right? Because attachments are individuals that don't love. You want the spiritual connection when you're looking for a counterpart, and you want to be in a healing state. Somebody who doesn't take your energy and not give you equal reciprocity. It's a give and a take. And it shouldn't be something that you have to add up on a calculator or compare. It should just be out of the love of your heart and how you are loyal to this individual you are trying to settle down with and have a life with. So when people start keeping score, that's not good either. That's toxic as well, because you got to learn to forgive. And what I wanted to talk about is all these individuals, you have to be aware, because this character a lot of times will never change, especially in the narcissist. It won't change, y'all. So when you start hearing that they're changing, it's not the case. Anything that's also confusing as far as relationship wise, like you don't know if you can trust this person or not, or if it's barely, it's okay. You don't want to be with that, because it sounds like it's not good for you, and it's not going to be good for you because your intuition's telling you it's just barely okay. And you don't want to be with somebody who's toxic and just faking with other people's energy to come in to get you in these endless toxic cycles. So what you want to do when you're kicking these people out of your personal life is to detach spiritually, mentally, physically, psychologically, and emotionally, and let them go. Forgive them. So to let them go is to forgive them first, to forgive them and end toxic cycles. That's how you end them. That's how you end attachments, is to forgive them, or else you're going to carry that attachment. You're going to carry it on your back, and it's always going to be with you, and it's going to block your blessings. It's going to block your counterpart from coming to you if you have a blessed counterpart that's been working on themselves too, and you're carrying this unforgiveness for somebody who did something to you. Like I said, you don't have to tell that individual. You just say a prayer to God and let it go, and you lay it at the cross, because you have to find the right angle to look at it, to give the forgiveness in some cases, because y'all been brutally, almost utterly destroyed by individuals. And I'm not here to judge that. That's on your own terms. And it's got to be done as you follow out the process. When this stuff first happened to me, I didn't want to forgive. And that's how I know, because I'm pretty decent level-headed person, and I care about people. So if I almost wanted to get revenge on the individual for the stuff that happened to me, if I had thoughts, then I know these individuals have got some vengeance that comes to them for the things that they do, because they're doing it every day. You have to be careful. And when you're around these toxic individuals because you choose to, that energy gets put on you. And a lot of times those repercussions can come back on you, the innocent bystander. And that's what you see in the news a lot. An innocent person that got down, right? Why that happened? Well, maybe because they were wearing so much narcissistic negative energy because they've been flipping with somebody, fuel, and accepting all of their negative projections for so long. That negative energy had vengeance placed on it. But that person, that individual, that was either naive or unawoke and was unaware about the covenants they had gotten themselves into, was carrying negative energy with vengeance on it. And they got it instead of the narcissist, maybe. That's my opinion of it. You want to make sure your fuel is equal. You can't be giving financial support to somebody all the time. What is that? That's not how you do things. You're not supposed to be giving all the time and not receiving anything. Or people pissing on your fire all the time. When you get an advancement, they put you down. They make that day a bad day. They try to sabotage you. You don't want that. You got to kick that out. And if you keep it in your life, that's on you, y'all. So you got to look at how is the perspective and the vision of what you're looking at now. Is it been completely toxic? If you're in a situation already, situationship, then you need to leave. The longer you stay with sick, low vibrational, negative energy, no fuel given vampires, man, the quicker you get out, the better. Because this stuff has effects on your psyche, has effects on your health, your wealth, everything. People always talk about these autoimmune system issues. And I'll tell you, man, if you're around one long enough, you'll start getting autoimmune system issues because what happens, your body's attacking itself because of your free will. Your free will tells you you can leave today, but you choose to stay with them. Maybe because it's financial, maybe because it's you have a child with them and you refuse to put into work to separate. Whatever. It's an unhealthy situation, so leave. If you don't leave, that's on you. And so your immune system is fighting itself because your intuition's telling you to leave. You're being attacked every day. You're getting projected on. You're accepting it, and you're in covenant with somebody that you shouldn't be in covenant. You need to break from, detach from, and leave. But because this is a free will society, a free will world, you have the choice to do that. It's all on you. I've been there. I'm just saying, I've had negative effects on my health at a time, man, when I was dealing with this stuff. And I'll tell you, I'm a believer that autoimmune system, not all of them, some are environmental in different cases, but there are a lot of cases that come from narcissism because your intuition and your inside voice and basically your immune system doesn't want you with this person. It's that bad. It's that toxic. And your spirit man is telling you, no, go when you know you go. And you still sticking out there getting attacked every day and you accept it. So it ends up working against you. It's like fighting itself. You're saying no, and your spirit man, your intuition, and all of your cells in your body are saying, yes, we need to leave. We need to go, y'all. And you're saying, no, I'm staying. Either because you're hijacked emotionally or what, the trauma bond, and you're addicted to the next hit, whatever, or you're too lazy to leave. And I'm not trying to be hard, but I'm just telling you like it is because I've been there and I'm just passionate about it. So, I had somebody tell me I was angry once, but I'm not angry. I was just passionate. So anyway, you got these leeches, and these leeches come into your life. These energy vampires and these predators and these parasites. That's what we call these individuals because they suck your energy, your fuel, your spiritual gifts off of you. Sometimes they want to be with you because you have clout, and they want to suck off that clout, your name, what you're known for. If they're with you, they're walking around with your name and your clout. It's good for them, bad for you. What's your status? Sometimes people are with you, these toxic individuals come to you because of your status. Sometimes because of your gifts. You have good vibration. You have self-love and care. You have passion. What you say is what you mean. And they can't cultivate that. Low vibrational people can't cultivate that, so that's why they find you. And they get in with you. They siphon it off of you. They steal your gifts, your identity, and then they smear your identity and they claim that you're doing to them what they're doing to you as they take your identity, and then you're wearing their energy, so you do feel like that. They manipulate, and this is spiritual, y'all. Nobody physiologically finds out and knows how to understand how to try to avoid negative reaping by switching energy and identity with people so that they can camouflage themselves in your energy and then come back for cycle 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 and steal it from you more and more and more. They want to walk in your energy, and they want you to deal with walking in their negative vibration. And this is witchcraft, y'all. This is a lot of times because they don't want to apologize, and they're doing all these cheating, evil things, stealing, cheating, lying pathologically. And so they project it all onto you, that negative energy for that sin. They steal your identity, get you to pour your energy out because you're passionate, you care, and you love, y'all. And they know this, if they can hijack your emotions and get you off your higher thinking and your intellect and get you down to your emotional state through your heart, get your heart functioning and tell your mind what to do, they can hijack it. And that's what they do. It's spiritual and psychological warfare. It's evil. And then you reap a lot of their negative rewards because they're out blowing your energy, seducing people with your fuel. Because it's so good, y'all. But they run it through their negative factory and they use it to seduce. They use goodness for evil, but it's your fuel and you consented to giving it and accepting theirs. So you got to pay for theirs, that they're out there destroying folks with them, seducing them. And then you got to pay for that fuel that they threw on you that you got to burn off, that's full of sin too, because they don't want to repent. So you agreed to do it. So now you're out wiling out. Maybe at work, maybe at the grocery store. Who knows? And they have addictions, sex addictions. They have addictions to pain pills, sleeping pills, alcohol, on a level been going on for years. Some of them doing all kind of nasty street drugs. All of it's nasty. But they do that and they'll throw that negative energy on you. You don't want that, y'all. So when you get these people out of your life, you're going to get a new boost of energy and vitality. Your health will be better. Your relationships will be better. You'll see the sun shining, y'all. And you're not looking for the grass to be greener on the other side. You're creating it. You're manifesting it now. Why? Because you're putting in work. It's transmuting because of your faith and your hope and you're walking in the statutes you're supposed to. Now things start having growth, y'all. Things getting watered. You have nice green field. What the narcissist does is they think it's always greener on the other side until they get there after they siphoned your fuel. And it may look green today, but it's an illusion. It turns brown in just a few days, man. It's all dead over there. And they're dealing with a narcissist cloaked in somebody else's energy, somebody who's a higher level narcissist that's putting control over them and screwing up their life. See, when you have an upper echelon narcissist or like a greater narcissist and some mid-level, mid-range narcissist or low-level narcissist that they've seduced, which may have been your old ex or whatever, that's what happens. You get a mid to low range narcissist who thinks they're special, they think they're a greater narcissist, and they meet somebody they think is empathic. They ain't empathic. They're a greater narcissist, and they will control the crap out of them and destroy them. And this is how this negative reaping ends up coming back to them. They'll collapse them. And they'll get them trauma bonded, just like they tried to trauma bond you. They will get trauma bonded to another narcissist, and they'll be stuck because they also couldn't get power and control. And that's how they live. They have to have power and control. As they recover from collapse, they'll go back. They'll get fueled up from some empath that's unawoke, and they'll go back to that narcissist. Why? Because they never did get power and control over them. So they're GPS right back to them. They keep going back to them to get power and control. But because that's a greater narcissist dealing with a mid to lower level narcissist, they destroy them every time. Or they destroy each other. But they never get power and control, so they continually go back. So they get fueled up on the empath, and then they go back to a narcissist a lot of times to burn down the world. And then they end up destroying each other, come back to the empath, and then go back to that over there. And a lot of times they'll ping pong back and forth, and you're stuck dealing with it. It's deceptive energy, and that's what you want to watch out for. Sexual leeches that come in to have intercourse with you just to siphon your fuel, and they projecting the whole time onto you while you're wide open. Your energetic field's wide open, and you're doing it, and they're doing it to you, all right. And this is what they do, because this is how they get their best validation when they've been collapsed, is they get their best fuel, they get fueled up, and their best validation is from having intercourse with people. So a lot of times when they're down and out because they don't have fuel, they'll come and want to have intercourse with individuals, toxic people, because the whole time they can siphon your fuel because you're wide open and project while you're doing it with them. You think they're doing it with you, but they're actually focused on projecting their negative energy into you while that's happening, and they're manifesting with your fuel. Your sexual, it's called sex magic. They do it. And they see your worth? People that you're with, do they see your worth? Do you see your worth? So I always say this too, don't stay in stasis. A lot of times if you don't know what to do and it's confusing, it seems like it's keeping you down and you don't see movement in your life, you got to keep it moving. And you can't be worrying about that and be always focused on that toxic individual. As you're working yourself out of that relationship, if you're stuck in it for a time, but you're getting out, you're walking out of it, stepping out of it because you're learning new things, then don't focus on them that much. You got to keep things moving forward as you're walking away from them, because you'll stay in more stasis if you're always looking at them, thinking about them as much as you can. You need to keep it moving. You should always have the energy of moving forward, advancement, not running around like the narcissist, chasing after the next source of supply, the next flesh to lay down with and chew on. So you can't accept breadcrumbing, man. These fools love to breadcrumb you. Breadcrumbing's out, y'all. And if they pull away from you, like you pull away 3 times, you don't chase, y'all. You're not an option. You have something special. You got something special. And that's why you get these fools coming to you. Listen, the enemy wouldn't be sending you negative vibrational energy individuals to you to put you down if you weren't something special, somebody who is a threat. So it's kind of like this. A dog don't chase no parked cars. It chases a car, he thinks it's a threat. One in movement. And that's the enemy. He's chasing you like a dog because your car is moving, y'all. You're in motion. You're a body in motion, y'all. You ain't in stasis. You got movement to you. You're manifesting. You have growth in your life. You're elevating. And when you elevate and you put these lower level narcissists down, just beware, there's going to be somebody else coming, because new levels, new devils. And that's the truth. Because I had 3 of these fools in my life, and the last one was the worst one. And the first one I thought took the cake. She ain't nothing on this 3rd one. So you're realigning, and you want to continue to realign. But this is the thing. When you're coming off narcissist energy and waking up to all of this, it's like you're recalculating your whole world. So you have to take your time with it. And in the very beginning, so you don't you got to hold everything together while you're coming off this negative energy. You know, you want to make sure you can still hold your job down while you're dealing with this, so you don't want to move too fast or get freaked out. And you got to stabilize everything as you're coming off and getting away from this. So you got to focus on dealing with it not too fast, and you never want to rush a process. So it's all in good timing. And you want to always be moving forward and letting go of toxicity in your life in all ways, in all areas, and don't get stuck. These fools like to get you stuck. And a lot of times what hurts you is, as far as movement in your faith, as far as moving forward, is lack of consistency, belief in the process, and delayed gratification. You always want gratification right away. I got to have it now. But it's a process of hard work, y'all. And not properly preparing for what you're getting yourself into, and burnout, not get enough rest, and hanging out with toxic individuals. You got to get the friends out of your life, the coworkers that you chose to hang out with out of your life that are toxic, your family, if they're toxic, they're gone. Any love partner, friendship, relationship, whatever ship is out. Sometimes you got to leave certain types of groups. You could have a church group that's toxic, I don't know, whatever. But whatever it is, you got to get it out of your life for you to see clearly and to elevate and to live and to love yourself and to love life. You want self-love, but you don't want somebody siphoning it off of you, stealing your gifts, your fruits, your identity, putting you down, laying you out. A lot of times, you know, they a lot of times want to lock you down so they can have their in-house empath trash cans so that they can use you for all their abuse. That's why they look like Mother Teresa out there, because they blow off all their negative energy on you at home when the doors and the blinds and the windows are shut, and they go out there looking like Mother Teresa with your fuel. And you've been accepting it because you accepted it in the family unit too when you were a child. But you're revoking it now. No, you don't want. You want somebody that's going to lock you down and be your counterpart, that loves you, cares about you, is loyal to you, that you can be loyal to, that you can back each other up, that you don't play games with each other. You're not using each other. Somebody you can have faith in, love for, hope for, you can count on. You can never count on the narcissist. That when you're sick, they'll be there for you. When they're sick, you'll be there for them. Equal reciprocity. A lot of times narcissists, they fear your loss, and they don't want to be single. They fear that too, because they are so codependent and they have abandonment issues. So they try to stay attached to you. So they'll tell you anything to keep you. You want a true connection, spiritual love. You want that deep heart space connection, y'all. You don't want somebody just attached to you, linked up, corded up to you, sucking off you. Somebody who can't create a high vibration like you. They like your high vibrational qualities. They come to you, they siphon them off of you. They leech them off of you. because they don't have the ability to create them, to generate them for themselves. They don't have self-love, and they don't embody the gifts to do it. So they come to you and they siphon it off of you, and you think they love you, but they don't. And you got to know that you're not going to know everything, how everything's going to turn out. You have to have faith. But if you follow your intuition and you heed its call, and your heart and your mind are aligned with your intuition, and you got your chess game on, you got your, everybody's on duty, everybody on a board. You got your rooks and your bishops and your queen and your king and your soldiers out there, and your horseman and your rook, and you're ready to go, man. You're prepared. You don't want no checkers board out there. So you have to have faith, but faith also has vision attached to it. So, and it has an understanding of what direction it's going in, and is it in goodness. So you have to follow all those things, and you will find your way. So that's all for today. Just beware, because a lot of times there's traps that are placed out there, and you don't want to get caught up in them. The Lord said that he would protect you from the terrors that come by night and the fiery darts that come by day, y'all. So you don't have to do anything but do what is righteous. If you walk in righteousness and be a righteous judge with clarity, and you kick all that confusion out of your life, you can't help but expand and transmute and manifest good things in your life, and know evil from afar and know what it looks like. That's how it works. So if you can give me a like, a subscription, or a thumbs up. Until next time, y'all, soldier up.